You've heard of the American Revolution? It's the story we all know: colonists fighting for freedom, the birth of a nation. But what if I told you that, long before that famous struggle, New England was nearly erased from the map by a war most Americans have never heard of? A century earlier, another war raged across New England, a war so brutal, so all-consuming, it threatened to wipe out the English colonies before they ever had a chance to grow. This was a conflict not just of armies but of cultures, of survival, and of the very future of the continent. This is King Philip's War, a war named for a man the English called King Philip, but whose real name was Metacom, a leader, a son, and a symbol of resistance for his people. By the 1670s, English settlers weren't just building towns, they were grabbing land, breaking promises, and pushing native communities to the brink. The forests and rivers that had sustained native peoples for generations were being carved up, fenced off, and claimed as property. Treaties burned, cultures clashed, and resentment tangled the air. Every broken agreement, every new settlement, deepened the divide. Tensions simmered, and trust was shattered. Metacom, called King Philip by the colonists, stepped up, united the tribes, and decided enough was enough. He saw his people's way of life slipping away, and he knew that only unity could offer a chance at survival. In 1675, the powder keg exploded. The first shots rang out, and suddenly, all of New England was at war. Native warriors hit settlements from Massachusetts down to Rhode Island, burning towns, ambushing militias, turning New England into a battleground. No one was safe. Villages vanished overnight, and fear spread like wildfire. For 3 years, chaos reigned. Over half of the region's towns faced attack, farms were abandoned, trade collapsed, and the very fabric of colonial life unraveled. The settlers fought for their survival, and sometimes barely hung on. Families huddled behind makeshift walls praying for dawn, while others fled into the wilderness, never to return. By 1678, the war ground to a halt, but the scars ran deep. The land was littered with ruins, and the survivors on both sides were forever changed. Thousands of native people killed, starved, or shipped off as slaves. English towns shattered. The cost was staggering, a higher percentage of the population killed than in any other American war. Families on both sides devastated, generations lost, communities broken, and a legacy of pain that would echo for centuries. It was one of the bloodiest conflicts in American history, but today, it's almost forgotten. The stories of heroism, tragedy, and survival are buried beneath centuries of silence. King Philip's War changed everything. The landscape, the people, and the future of New England were all reshaped by fire and loss. It hardened hearts, stoked fear, and cleared the way for even more colonial expansion. The war's aftermath set the stage for centuries of conflict and dispossession. The echoes of that war shaped New England's future and America's too. The boundaries, the attitudes, and the very identity of the region were forged in those desperate years. This isn't just old news. It's a story of resilience, of loss, and of the complicated beginnings of a nation. The echoes of King Philip's War still linger in the forests, the towns, and the memories of New England. History isn't in the past, it's all around us. I'm the Bearded Historian. Subscribe for more hidden history. There's always more to the story. Sometimes you just have to dig a little deeper.